Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about uh this survey that Eric Chinje made. You all saw the survey, which was very flawed. Okay, we have seen a couple of surveys that people did, in Ambazonia about you know the opinion of the Ambazonian people, okay, if they want to stay with La Republic or they want to leave La Republic, okay. So today we want to talk about that because a lot of people of the survey, okay, the outcome of the survey, okay, but Eric Chinje, who has been so a fervent supporter of the CPDM regime for the past years. He has worked in CRTV for many years. Now his survey was very flawed. Okay, and many questions prop up during his interview with Comrade Chris Arno yesterday. Those questions were not really answered when the survey was asked about. Okay, do you and your organization want justice for Ambazonia? He could not answer those questions, right? Does your organization distinguish between peace under colonial rule and peace that comes from justice? What do you stand for? He could not answer that question. Another question that they asked him: should the people of Ambazonia live under annexation and illegal occupation from La Republic? Eric Chinje could not answer the question. So Comrade Chris asked a lot of questions to him. When I watched the show yesterday, I'm like, what kind of survey do you conduct? That is, he said that the survey came out to be 50-50, but he could not answer this question. His organization, he created the organization with some other guys, one guy from who hails from Western region, a Bamileke guy, then the other guy hails from Central region. Come on. We are Ambazonian. If you want you want to distinguish between peace under colonial rule and peace that comes from justice, you have to work with the Ambazonian people for justice and peace for the Ambazonian people. Okay. They asked him another question: have you ever seen anyone who surrendered his own house to his neighbor? Why should Ambazonia surrender itself to La Republic? He could not answer that question. Right? They asked him a question: has your studies showed that while the atrocities have been increasing, the number of those who want freedom from atrocities that has been reducing? How can you explain this? He could not explain that. Okay. Another question they asked him during the show was: is any agreement and promise from La Republique du Cameroon to Ambazonia for so-called peace to return, not like an agreement between a sheep and a wolf? Okay, so the question was there: if La Republique breaks those agreements, how will Ambazonia ever get La Republique to respect them? That trust issue, he could not answer these questions. These are people who are dreaming of a future with La Republique, but they cannot explain certain thing that is very simple, right? How do you want a relationship but you cannot explain what you are fighting for, right? You want peace but you don't want justice. How can you explain that? Tell me. Those are the questions, a simple question that were asked to our brother Eric Chinje. He could not answer them, right? But how do you carry a survey, a political survey, like any research, okay, have so many political challenges, right? And those pitfalls that we saw, right? In the survey, we saw there have been about 2 or 3 surveys before. Cardinal Tumi made his. The other guys who are under the peace and whatever, they carried their own. All the survey were 80-90%. Then Eric Chinje came now and had his own, do you wish to have independence by fighting a war? What kind of question is that? So we saw those kind of bias wording and question. Okay, one of the most common mistake when you carry a survey is framing question in a way that leads a respondent to a particular answer, right? You cannot ask a question that you already know the answer. When you ask people, do you want independence during by fighting a war? What kind of question is that? You cannot put question that leads the people to say, okay, I want yes, I want, or no, because most people will say they don't want to fight war, right? True, because people don't like to see people dying, right? But that is not the question you should be asking. This can include this kind of most of those questioning that was in this survey was just kind of bias. That's what they call bias question wording, where you put those wording that you already know. Another issue about Eric Chinje's survey was sampling bias. Okay, that bias sampling is that there was a failure to achieve a representative sample of the population, right? This led to the undermining the reliability of the survey findings, because you cannot choose a particular area and go and do your survey, and this lead to certain issue. You take people in Bamenda and take people in Boya and ask them a question, then you do not ask the people who are in other areas. Then you come and say that is a result. Come on, because it was just an online survey. Another issue with the survey was that questioning the questionnaire design flaw, right? Where the questioning was very poorly designed, okay, and it leads to that kind of confusion. You ask people a direct question, they don't know how to respond to that kind of questioning. Do you want independence or you want war? Man, come on. Who will want war? And there are people who want independence, but they don't want war, right? So which one do you think they will choose? They will choose that they don't want war, right? But they want independence. So you ask them to choose one. That is the problem. The questioning should be like about independent or dependent. It should be two. All the other small questioning is just to confuse the population, and that was the issue with this kind of survey. But we always say this issue has been for many surveys that have been carried out. Our people have difficulty being part of this kind of survey because it has a lot of issue with using this non-random sampling, okay? Because most people in the other areas could not participate, and the people who are having the burden in this crisis are the people in those areas where this kind of survey do not even touch, right? They are in those areas that are really having the heart of this crisis. So we are saying that this kind of response bias did not tell well, right, of this kind of survey. So Eric Chinje should just not, because he is saying that he wants to carry the survey to go to United Nations, a survey that has 51 to 49. These people are really crazy. Please, that survey is null and void. Don't use that kind of survey to go to uni, because you cannot carry a survey of 1,000 people. Ambazonian are 8 million people. 8 million people. If you carry a survey, then the worst one is that they are asking him, do you wish the people to have a referendum? He says no. If the United Nations agree on a referendum. Come on. If what? What is a survey? A survey is a referendum. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you survey is just like a referendum or a kind of sampling, right? To see if just in case there's a referendum, how the people will respond to it, right? But if you don't want referendum, you carry a survey, then it's biased, because a survey is just a test. If just in case there's a referendum, how the people will react, right? But that notwithstanding, I want to say that the other surveys and all those things that are carried are not really important. The people are respecting the laws of the land. The people want freedom. The people want autonomy. The people want to have their own country. They want to be free. That is the basic message that we have to make. Okay, yes, there's a lot of margins of error in that survey, and we are telling anybody carrying any survey or whatever, the people on the ground are the people who are burdening the brunt in this crisis. So whether you carry a survey, you carry what you're carrying, please make sure that you know what is happening on the ground. And you can carry a survey online and send 1,000 people, or they'll be sending their responding and all those things, you know. But if you want to carry a thorough survey, it should be like at least each region should have a certain amount of people. Each LGA should participate. Make sure that sampling is contain all the 13, you know. But this kind of sampling you only carry in Bamenda, and Boya, you come and say that is a failure to consider those margins of error, where you have a survey that is not really, you know, it's not really. Is bias, right? That is what we are talking about. A survey should consider the issue of safety and security, where there are people who are even afraid to even take part in this kind of survey, because they are afraid of their name being out there. You know, consider those kind of issue of ethical consideration. The sampling was no good. Some people are even afraid to put their names and their information out there. Okay, and the survey sampling also, you know, the demographic composition, you only take a little portion and you say that is the opinion of Ambazonian people. It doesn't work like that. Survey should consider all the other aspects. Okay, the way you collect data in a survey should be very, very thorough. You should carry out interview. You should carry out other, you know, that what called data collection. It should have interview in most. You know, we have 13 region. You cannot just go in a particular area and you don't even do interviews. How many people did you interview? We want to see how many people they interviewed. If you interview 10 people, you say that's the opinion of 8 million people. Come on, man. Let's be serious. How can you do a survey? You know, if you interview up to 10 people, you come and say that is a survey. Then you want to carry it to the United Nations to tell them that this is what Ambazonian people think. Come on, let's be serious, man. Let's be serious. Okay? We have to have a very thorough data analysis. Okay? You know, you have to analyze that survey data rigorously using appropriate statistical method, so that there is done, you know, so that you interpret the finding within the broader context, you know, especially when it comes to the wartime situation. Okay, taking into account those factors such as propaganda, censorship, okay, and information warfare. People are afraid because the government will, if they consider you as part of the survey, they might reprimand you, right? People are afraid to even take part in those things. That's why we say a thorough survey can be only when the United Nations put their boots on the ground. When the United Nations come with their peacekeeping force, all the terrorists, like public soldiers, will leave Ambazonia, right? Then there will be that kind of thorough decimation of, you know, of resort, where we can take into account that security risks and sensitivities, especially most of those people who are in those kind of areas where they cannot take part. But if we can have all the 13 regions involved, at least each of those LGAs 13 region, we have about 62 LGAs in those 13 regions or 13 counties. Then we have that kind of sampling where we ensure that the findings are communicated in a clear and accessible manner, so that to maximize their impact within the all the areas. That is what we are talking about. We cannot have a survey where we don't have the people on the ground that are training and can supervise the survey, right? That's why I would say, if the United Nations can put their boots on the ground, that is what they call United Nations peacekeepers. They'll come on the ground. They'll have what we call a buffer zone. That buffer zone, they will have what we call they'll bring in the United Nations peacekeepers forces. Then there will be what we call ceasefire. After a ceasefire, then there will be what we call a United Nations supervised referendum, where they will train people on the ground. They'll collect good data collection method, where they'll do their proper training of people who will be doing the supervision. The United Nations will collect their data, they'll analyze it, they'll report it. There will be good data collection. Then they'll carry out now the referendum, where it will be non-biased. Okay, that is the real survey you are talking about. It's not this survey you carry with 1,000 people. Then there is no real, people are even afraid to speak. People are not even ready to put their names out there. People are not even ready to even take part in. Then you carry that survey. You want to go and be telling the international community that this is a 50-50. Come on, okay, man. We want to tell Eric Chinje that survey is null and void, because the survey could not even answer the basic questions that we thought it could answer, right? The organization that Eric Chinje formed is just about his own, he could not even answer those basic questions that was asked, and that is the problem with that survey. We know Cardinal Tumik did his own survey. It came out at 89%. 89% of Ambazonians said they want their own they want their own state, they want their freedom, they want their own autonomy. Okay, they want to stay by themselves. They don't want La Republic to come and be bothering them. Okay, those questions were not asked during their survey that they did, right? And then they say it's 50%. Then they ask him, how did you carry your survey? What did you take into consideration? Okay, he could not answer. So please, we don't want that thing of survey again. Please, if you want survey, you should propagate for a United Nations supervised referendum. That is the real survey that you talk about. If you don't want that, then please stop conducting your survey and coming to bring it that this is your survey of the Ambazonian people. The Ambazonian people know what they want, and that is why we are talking about a United Nations supervised referendum, so that will be the real survey. Okay, but without which Ambazonian people will continue to defend their land. They will continue to respect their ghost town Mondays. They will continue to respect the lockdowns. As we all know, the lockdowns will continue. 11 February, 20 May is banned in Ambazonia. Elections banned in Ambazonia. Anything that is organized by La Republic is banned in Ambazonia. Okay, because our people are telling La Republic, we no longer belong here. We no longer belong to you. That is what we call civil disobedience or peaceful protesting. Okay, and that is what we want. And if you can conduct that kind of survey, they're asking you a question: does your organization distinguish between peace under colonial rule and peace that comes from justice? Eric Chinje could not answer. They asked him, which do you stand for? Do you stand for peace under colonial rule or peace that comes from justice? Come on, you want peace, you don't want justice, right? How do you say you want peace? They're asking you, how do you distinguish between those two? Okay, we want peace. Then they ask you, how about justice? No, you know, 10,000 people have died, or 50,000 people have died. Then we want peace. You know, people are suffering. That you are dodging the side of justice, and that is what people want. People want peace. Yes, everybody want peace, but does everybody want justice? Of course. So why don't you fight for peace that comes with justice? You are fighting for peace, but when they ask you about justice, you cannot answer, right? That is the problem. Another challenge that survey faced was when they asked Eric Chinje, should the people of Ambazonia live under annexation and illegal occupation from La Republique? He knows for the past 60 plus years we have lived under annexation. You have heard Paul Biya saying that, right? But how could he not answer that? The people have suffered. The people have lived under annexation. Why not answer the question? Why not tell the world how the people are suffering, right? Answer the question. Let's see if you really want peace, if you really want justice, if you want all those things. Answer the question, okay? Because if you cannot answer the question, that is where the problem is, okay? Let's see how you can answer those questions. They will say, okay, this is, you want peace and justice. They ask him, have you ever seen any who surrender his own house to his neighbor? Can you surrender your house for a neighbor? They asked. Eric Chinje could not answer the question, right? He was dodging, he was running, he was trying to dodge the question. Come on now, who will surrender his house to his neighbor? Why should you do that? First of all, you have a house, you have a boundary, you have a country, you have declared your independence, you have restored your independence. You are only waiting for recognition from countries. Then you say it's okay to surrender let another person to come and take your neighbor should come and take it. Okay, no, we surrender, take it. Come on, who can do that? Who will surrender his own house to his neighbor? Who? Tell me. He couldn't answer his reason why he believed that Ambazonians should surrender to La Republique. Everything that they have, their identity, their country, their everything to La Republique. Let's just stop the war. Okay, La Republique, come and take everything. Let's remain under colonial rule. Let's just stay like that and be watching them, be playing their things. After Pobia, they bring Fambia. After Fambia, they'll bring Kamto. After Kamto, they'll bring... Just like that, we'll just be watching them. Come on. Who want to remain under bondage? Nobody. Okay? Eric Chinje, they will ask him, your studies show that why the atrocities have been increasing, the number of those who want freedom from those atrocities has been reducing. How can that be explained, right? La Republique has committed so many crimes in our people. He's saying that the atrocities are reducing. Does that mean that our people don't need justice? So we should forget all the crime that have been committed on our people. We should forget and just say, okay, La Republique, come and take our land. Then all the people will go free. No, all those atrocities against our people, crime, genocide, all the massacre, the scorched earth policy must have justice. It's not only so La Republique will be held accountable, they will pay for it, they will hold every single member of government in the ICC. That is the work of the ICC, International Criminal Court. They will hold them responsible to pay reparation. Like Hitler was held, that's why you see Germany is afraid of war today. Because up to date, Germany is still paying reparation to countries. Yes, Hitler was held accountable because he caused the war, the First and Second World War. Don't forget. So La Republique will be held accountable. They will pay each family that have suffered material damages, all those people that their houses have been burned. Please note that, put record, if your family has been killed innocently in this war, they will pay. Okay, this thing will not go out like Eric Chinje wants us to believe that okay, let's peace reign. We just sit. Let's forget about the atrocities that have been committed on our people. We start smiling. We just sit now. Let peace reign. Then where is the justice? Where is the justice? Okay, that is the problem. They will ask him, is any agreement and promise from La Republique to Ambazonia for so-called peace to return not like an agreement between a sheep and a wolf? Okay, if La Republique break those agreements, how will Ambazonia ever get to respect them? Imagine, La Republique has not respected a single agreement. Imagine from the Fumban conference where they went there and fooled our parents. You want to tell us that the root causes of the problem is from Fumban? La Republique did not respect it. They came now and in 1972 and still fool us in that fake referendum. How can you have a referendum? And that is the same thing that these guys have done with this year's survey thing. You cannot make a survey. You ask a question with La Republique people and Ambazonian people. That's a sample, right? You go and make a survey. You put ask La Republique and Ambazonian people. Do you want independence by fighting a war? So it became 51 who said they want their independence. Then 49 said, "Come on, that 49 is La Republique people." Because the thing is about those 51 people should be Ambazonians. Of course, because they want their independence. Like, but when people now will say, no, we don't want war, we want peace. You see, because they don't know about justice. Ambazonian people are fighting for justice. We are not fighting for peace. Okay, if peace can come when justice have served, fine. But without justice, there will be no peace. There will be no peace in Ambazonia. That will not happen. So, Eric Chinje should go and rewrite his survey questioning, okay, and come back, okay, because conducting this political survey during wartime presents that kind of unique challenges, okay, due to the heightened tensions. Imagine the tension, those security concerns, okay, and the disruption of normal life, of course. So it's very difficult for you to carry a survey at wartime and say it is really perfect, okay, because in most areas have been deserted. Did Eric Chinje go and ask those refugees who are suffering? Did you ask questions to our prisoners who are in prison? Did you ask questions to the internally displaced? What sample did you get to all this group of people who are still suffering? Do you think any one of these people in jail today, any one of these refugees, or any one of these prisoners, these internally displaced, will ever tell you that they want peace without justice? None of them will ever, because they have seen, those are the people that have seen the suffering. Do you think any family that house have been burned down, any family that have suffered through this crisis for the past 7 years, they have killed their children, burned their houses, burned their properties, they have suffered property damage, they have seen scorched earth policy? Do you think any of this family will ever vote to tell you that they want peace without justice? No, one day. They will never, because they are the one bearing the brunt of this crisis. So Eric Chinje should stop doing all this politicking on people's blood. People have suffered a lot. People are still suffering as we speak. Okay, think about this. Think about all these things and tell us if your survey is really considering these people who are still suffering. You cannot go and conduct your survey having those kind of sampling and your own survey. You collect your data without even thinking about these people who are still suffering. Even they are still in jail. These prisoners of war are still in prison. You do not even, your survey did not even ask them question. Did you ask question to our refugees? Did you ask question to people who are now internally displaced? Your survey did not even ask those people. You just carry a survey online with Francophones. Send them questioning and come and tell us, oh, the survey say is 51 to 49. The 51 people say they want peace, or the 51 people say they want independence. Then the 49 say they want peace. They don't want war. They want peace. You don't want war, but your question was not even to the right audience, to the right population. The population that are suffering are the ones that should be asking. You cannot ask people who are enjoying in Yaoundé. You go and ask them question. Are they the one bearing the brunt? No. So we should consider that. And anyone carrying a survey next time, please do proper decimation of your result. Make sure you have good data analysis. Okay, consider all those things. You have to have training and supervision on the ground. People who go to all the 13 county and 62 LGAs, at least we have to touch other people. Make sure that you touch a lot of do a good data collection from all these surveys. You do face-to-face interviews, telephone surveys, online surveys, and other methods. A survey should carry out all these other methods. You should not just go online and ask questions and people just answer and you come and say a survey is 50 this. Which demographic did you consider? Consider that the design, the survey. What did you consider? Imagine those sensitivities. Consider all those things. Okay, the demographic. You have to take all those things into consideration. You cannot just ask people in Bamenda and some people in Boya and come and say the survey said that. Think of it. People who are still suffering, people who are still in harm's way, people who are still crying. Did you ask our freedom fighters? Did you ask the restoration fighters about the questioning? Who are still in fighting for their freedom? You go and be asking a survey to people who are enjoying in Yaoundé. My brother, Mr. Eric Chinje, with all due respect, before you carry out your survey next time, do a proper survey. When you say survey, then you come back and tell us a different story. That is for you, Mr. Other bias survey that you are carrying and say you want to go and show to the United Nations. Please, with all due respect, for the purpose of Ambazonian peace and security, for Ambazonian independence, don't carry that survey and go and be showing to United Nations. Ambazonians have suffered for 7 years. Ambazonians want their freedom in peace. They don't want peace without justice. They want justice before peace can come. If we want justice, okay, don't carry that survey that you carried with that bias questioning and all those fake sampling and all those things. You go and show the international community. Next time before you carry that survey, first go to the people who are suffering now. Did you ask one prisoners of those prisoners, thousands of them? Did you ask them one question? Did you ask them in prison that are suffering now? Did you ask our refugees that are thousands of them who are now in Nigeria? Did you ask those people who are internally displaced question? So, Mr. Eric Chinje, next time, don't carry that thing and be going around and say that is a survey for the Amazonian people. That thing is null and void. That's what I wanted to say, because I've seen that survey thing and you could not even answer one of those questions. You are dodging the questions and they're asking you are dodging. Please, Amazonian people have suffered a lot. Leave our people in peace, not in pieces. We want justice. We want freedom. We are tired of this assimilation. We are tired of this exploitation, marginalization, and assimilation. Leave our people alone. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. So thank you for your survey, but that is not a survey we want for now. Okay, our people want their justice. They want peace, and we want security, and we want justice. Okay, thank you, and God bless you. Please share, and make sure you. Thank you, and for next time. Okay.
adako iwe motomoko